Well, we've got the roster for the FIBA World Cup. Qualifying starts next month, like in March. So we're not that far away from actually seeing Caitlin Clark playing actual, meaningful, real basketball.
The United States basketball team has announced its World Cup qualifying roster, and both Caitlin the squad included Clark and Paige Bueckers. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Someone is going to discover that playing and making the roster are two whole different things. One of them will most likely start, while the other may wish to settle into that bench position. This will be enjoyable. Who do you believe Team USA should start as point guard? Post your choice in the comments section.
5-on-5 setting, the roster has been announced. It's going to be interesting to see what the starting lineups look like. I've told you guys, you got to be careful. There's all kinds of agenda when it comes down to Team USA because of some of the leadership involved, but nonetheless, we're here. Oh, man. The starting lineups are going to be...
The 12-player squad for the FIA World Cup qualification competition, which will take place in San Juan, Puerto Rico, from March 11th to 17th, was officially revealed by USA Basketball. Folks, that's a month away that we will witness real, meaningful basketball with Caitlin Clark in a 5-on-5 matchup against international opponents in just 1 month. There is a diverse mix of new players and veterans on the roster. You have Chelsea and Kelsey Plum, the 2024 gold medalists. Derek Kahami, Jackie Young, and Gray.aa Wilson will be absent from this one. Brianna Stewart will not participate in the qualifying round. Not Sabrina Ionescu. No, Alyssa Thomas. Thank heavens. To be honest, give the youthful talent a chance to shine.
USA Basketball announced today the 12-player roster and coaching staff who will represent the U.S. in the 2026 FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament in San Juan, Puerto Rico from March 11th to the 17th. 1 month away, folks. 1 month. The USA, who have already qualified for the 2026 FIBA World Cup in Berlin by winning the 2025 FIBA World Women's AmeriCup, brings a mix of veterans and newcomers to the 6-team round-robin tournament. The roster features 2024 gold medalist Kaylee Copper, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Derica Hamby, and Rain Howard. They won the 3x3 bronze medal at the 2024 Paris Games.
This is where things start to get interesting, though. Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark, Sonia Citroen, Kiki Irian, and Angel Ree are among the rookies making their competitive debuts with the senior national team. Ryan Howard and Aaliyah Boston are also included on the roster. It's essentially a who's who of women's basketball's future generation. For basketball lovers, the news that both Paige and Caitlin made the squad is fantastic. Two of college basketball's most well-known names, obtaining their opportunity to represent the nation at the highest level at last. But let's talk about something honest. At point guard, just one of them is beginning, and everyone is aware of who that ought to be.
The part that starts making people nervous, the USA Basketball Women's National Team Managing Director Sue Bird selected the roster and will continue to evaluate players prior to selecting a team for the 2026 Women's World Cup, which takes place September 4th through the 3rd.
This team's starting point guard must be Caitlin Clark. Come on, there should be no dispute about this at all. She has demonstrated herself on many fronts. She is in good health. She is prepared to leave. And she is among the world's top basketball players. It's absurd to think that someone else would start again with her at this stage. This is where envy enters the picture, though. Bias in Connecticut basketball has been discussed, although in whispers. This roster was chosen by the managing director, Sue Bird, former UConn star Subbird. Paige Bueckers may have an inside route to starting point guard. According to remarks made by UConn coach Gino Aria, isn't it clear where this is headed? Paige traveled to the UConn. Subbird visited UConn. Gino is a UConn coach. It's everything really linked and comfortable. People are now questioning whether that link could affect who gets to start.
I just remember being a young kid at USA, there was so much angst and anxiety and nerves that come with wanting to make the team. that sometimes you get so caught up in that you forget to enjoy it and like you're living your childhood dream. So I think a mix of all of those things, of just building relationships with so many amazing women who know so much, and the coaching staff, just to be a sponge and really just enjoy it.
But let's slow down before buying into that narrative. Right now, Caitlin Clark is simply the better player. She's dominating professional basketball, showing she can handle the pressure, the physical play, and the spotlight. Paige is returning from injury and hasn't yet played a full season at the professional level. The decision seems clear. Still, you can imagine what Paige might be feeling. All her life, she's been labeled the next big thing, the future of women's basketball, the player destined to take over. Then Caitlin Clark arrives and essentially hijacks that story. The attention, the ratings, the endorsements, the hype, it all swings toward Caitlin. Now, both are on the same team, and Paige has to realize deep down she may not be the starter. That stings. You make the roster, you're thrilled to compete, thinking this is your chance to shine internationally. Then reality hits. Your rival is likely starting while you watch from the bench. The coaching staff for this tournament is intriguing. Cara Lawson from Duke leads the team, supported by Natalie Nackes from the Golden State Valkyries, Nate Tibbetts from the Phoenix Mercury, and Stephanie White from the Indiana Fever. On paper, Stephanie White's presence should benefit Caitlin. She knows her game, understands what she needs to succeed, and theoretically could play to her strengths. But anyone who watched last season knows that didn't happen. The offense wasn't built around her, plays rarely ran for her, and she spent much of the year battling double teams with little support. Having Stephanie White on the coaching staff might not be the edge everyone assumes. In reality, it could even complicate things, but that's a separate discussion. The bigger story is the relationship between Paige and Caitlin. For years, they've been measured against each other, with debates about who's superior going back to their college days. Now they're on the same roster, and one is destined for a more prominent role. Paige clearly has talent. She's clever, versatile, and capable of both scoring and setting up teammates, but she hasn't yet demonstrated that at the professional level. She's still regaining her form after injury and hasn't experienced the relentless defensive pressure that Caitlin faces every game. She hasn't been the centerpiece of a team the way Caitlin has. That contrast fuels the tension. Paige witnesses the attention Caitlin commands, the fan adoration, media focus, and league adjustments designed to feature her on national broadcasts. Arenas fill up when Caitlin plays. Jerseys fly off the shelves. Viewership spikes. Naturally, Paige craves that kind of recognition too. Naturally, she does. Which competitor wouldn't? Paige wants to be the face of women's basketball, to command the spotlight, earn the accolades, and gain the recognition she's long been promised. But right now, that crown belongs to Caitlin. And the Team USA roster is just another reminder of that reality. Looking at the rest of the roster, Angel Reese is included, which sets the stage for another chapter in the Caitlin-Angel story. They shared the court during an All-Star game not long ago, and the chemistry was undeniable. Caitlin delivered a highlight-worthy pass to Angel that went viral. Clearly, they can thrive together when egos are kept in check. Then you have veterans like Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young, players who know the international stage inside out. They bring gold medal experience, leadership, and a blueprint for younger teammates to follow. Aaliyah Boston is also on the roster, fresh from her Rookie of the Year season. She's familiar with USA basketball from her junior competitions and understands the system, expectations, and pressure. She's already one of the league's brightest young talents. But despite all this, Paige's potential feelings of envy remain a storyline to watch. Here's the reality. Making the roster is a huge achievement. Representing your country is an honor, and Paige should absolutely take pride in that. But being on the team and watching someone else start while you sit on the bench is a completely different experience. That's when it sinks in. You're not yet the player you hope to be at this level. Gino Era's remarks about Paige having an inside track were notable. He seemed confident she'd play a major role, but Gino often speaks with bias toward his own players. Just because he expects Paige to start doesn't mean the coaching staff will see it the same way. The logical approach would be to have Caitlin at point guard against the starters and bring Paige off the bench. Let Caitlin run the offense, exploit her passing and scoring to break defenses, then inject Paige as a spark for the second unit. That's the smart way to use two skilled point guards with different strengths. But will that plan actually happen? Hard to say. This is USA basketball, a world where politics and personal connections can sometimes outweigh performance. Sue Bird's roster selections raise questions about potential favoritism, and having several coaches with varying agendas adds even more complexity. It wouldn't be surprising if the lineup ends up being adjusted for reasons that don't make much basketball sense. The Connecticut connection is real, and people are already talking. It's understandable to be skeptical. UCNN has produced some incredible talent, and those players naturally support one another. On a personal level, that's admirable, but when it comes to choosing rosters and starting lineups, it can create complications. Paige might hope that connection works in her favor. She could be banking on Sue Bird giving her extra consideration because of their UConn link, or counting on Gino's endorsement to carry weight. But at the end of the day, basketball is decided on the court, not in private meetings. Caitlin has consistently outperformed Paige at the professional level. Those are just the facts. She's achieved more, proven more, and delivered more. Any sensible coaching staff should acknowledge that and assign her the role she has earned. With the qualifying tournament kicking off in March, there isn't much time to wait. The starting lineups will soon be revealed, and we'll quickly see who commands the main minutes and who will come off the bench.